Here we go. Recording. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not watching this live, today we had a little bit of a setback on streaming on YouTube. Yeah, after this stream, I'll put some time into figuring out what the problem was and how to avoid it, because clearly this was not fun. I've been wasting yeah, more than 20 minutes on just getting the stream up to streaming conditions. And yeah, where DLive and Twitch are actually doing well, YouTube is where I get most views and most attention. So yeah, YouTube is rather important if I want to get the message out. And the message being, now, are we going to the moon, or is this it, and are we going to set up for doom? Well, if you want to know exactly what's going to happen, then I suggest you just sit back, relax, bear with me, and I will dive into all of this in a minute. All right. Enough chit chat. Ready to dive in with the meat and potatoes. First things first, very noticeable. Yeah, we did have our buying up happening right here. Yesterday we spoke about it when we were hitting the resistance area right here. I did mention that the green line was going to be a very nice opportunity range where to buy in a lot more, or add up to your position, or open new positions to go along. We did have our nice attempt to pull through, but it has been stopped in its wake. Right now we have seen a few attempts, a few retests of the resistance area being built up here. Probably some people taking their profits, probably some people trying to play it carefully. Also less volume over the weekend, which yesterday was completely which I completely forgot, that yesterday was Friday. With all these holidays things and stuff, you know, it's easy to oversee something like this, especially if you're not working due to the ongoing pandemic. Days kind of tend to blend together. But yeah, so what did we see? We see a resistance being built up here at about 24,900. Right now, this little 1 hour candle is making its attempt to retest this higher range. What we do notice right here is on a first glance a little smudge of a potential bearish divergence right here, which could become an issue if and when we start making lower lows. Right now, we did have our few lows set right here, being bought up pretty well. So is this run over? I wouldn't put my money on it to say like, oh yeah, this is going to turn around, because usually on the bearish divergence, especially on such a signal, we do need to see our confirmation where we start printing a lower low and a lower low on the RSI, and then a lower low and a lower low on the RSI, and then retesting with a lower high, and then confirming the turnaround of the trend. So for now, we still have not seen this pattern, but it's very important that we measure out what it would take for the pattern to be confirmed as a continuation, or what it would take to change our biases to rather being more careful, and to where actually really giving up the hope of seeing new all-time highs and expecting a turnaround. And then another direction being taken. So yeah, enough of all that. Let's just dive in. I know everybody wants to get down to the nitty gritty of this topic. And now if I would just stop making smudges on my chart, which is already so polluted. On a first glance, what do we see? This little wick here really touched the 21 moving average, which in itself is already a very nice signal, a very nice indication that there is still a lot of buying power moving in. On the other hand, what is holding us back right now? The potential for making bearish divergences and continuing the overall bearish signature, which can easily be broken because it's not being confirmed. This is basically just a little bit of cooling off of the RSI right here. If we take a very close look, we do see already a lower low on the RSI over a little bit of a higher low on the price action, which could also signal already some strength pulling in. Next level of interest would be, I'm going to mark them off, this one because of this, and of course this one here because this one gives us a very wide range. And of course, finally, the local low here, which could tell us where to actually stop believing in new higher highs, and then just either pull back a little bit or maybe wait for a confirmation that the tide is turning, because eventually it will turn. I'm not trying to feed the bulls here. I'm not trying to feed the bears. I'm trying to get everybody grounded so your feet are on the ground and that we can make real analysis. No matter which camp you're on, you need to know these things. Okay, so let's dive right in, because this is actually a short-term move. I'm going to start with a 1 hour chart and we are going to go from there. Maybe it would be a good thing to just remove some of the indicators that we have and some of the markings, because all this is a little bit too much, let's call it last week. And we want to start off fresh. All right, well, this is cleaned up really nice. Okay, first things first. Where could we start expecting some bounces? I'm not gonna look at this one because it's almost at the same range of this one here. We might as well take the full range. So on the RSI, creating a lower low and a higher low and maintaining a higher low on the price action would be a bullish divergence. So let's just look at this one here and let's see where the buying power could come in. So 56 on the RSI would give us on the price action a 24,761. So this is pretty high, right? So yeah, a wide range here, just to start off with. So let's take this. Beautiful. Now let's go down to this area here, because maybe we could extend the read a little bit. Actually, I would even prefer this one. Just, you know what? Yeah, let's do it like this. I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to set a trend line, a horizontal line right here. And we'll make it green. just to start off with. This is going to be a little bit lower, I guess. So this one here would be at 51.50, let's call it. And see, it doesn't really make a big difference. But this would be the potential range for a nice bullish divergence being built over this area, this one here in the corner. So right here. Beautiful. Now on the low end, let's measure off the low. This would be 35.1. What does it say? 24,000. So that would be here. So what we're gonna do, because this is actually looking for where we could be expecting continuation, either sideways or to the downside. I am going to mark this off with a red horizontal, or maybe orange. And the 24,000 mark, I'm also going to make it orange. All right, more or less something like this. Yeah. So I adjusted it a little bit on just eyeballing the stuff, because we have a close here and a close here that actually do line up. So I tend to give a little bit more validity to these areas because they are not going to fluctuate as price moves on. Because the RSI reverse calculator, it does fluctuate a little bit as price moves on, because it takes a lot of parameters, a lot of live parameters in effect. And this is also why I keep reminding you guys not just to copy the levels that I'm printing or that I'm setting up for, but rather going over your technical analysis in the same way as I just did it, because this is going to give you the reads that you need for your particular exchange, and you know, to confirm. So also keep in mind, I use Bitstamp as my spot trading chart. I do not trade spot. I trade on Bybit. You know, as you can tell, I'm not going to trade on any other platform just because I like it. And but I do like to look at the spot action of an exchange with some high volume and stuff, because you know, derivatives trade on their own platform with their own contracts and stuff. It's very localized, but the price is being kept close because of liquidation prices being calculated as an average of 5 different spot exchanges, to make so that there's no too large of a difference, and the price stays in line with the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, one day I'm going to make a detailed video about these the differences between derivatives exchanges and how Bybit does it, because I have a lot of information about Bybit, not the other derivatives exchanges. But yeah, stay tuned for this. I think this would be a very nice topic. Also, I'm working on a very nice topic about the market makers, because I hear a lot of stuff about market makers. Are they trying to scam you or not? So yeah, that will be very interesting as well to follow. So this is the upper range that we talked about. Now, where is it game over? Where are we going to give up? Obviously, the low of the lows of this formation is this one here. So we're gonna have to measure it out and see which at which levels we can actually really give up being bullish, turn down the long button and turn on the short button. So let's take an average of those two reads on the RSI being 25 and 26-ish. Let's go with 26 round. So 25 and 27. So 26, I said, right? So let's do this. What do we see? What do we read? What does it say? 23,371. So as this RSI level reads a price area above the low of the price action, I'm just going to satisfy my needs, and I'm going to put a red line here and another one here. Now this one is going to become a thick one because this is the hard cap for the wick. If price actually really wicks down below this, it's game over. Strong continuation. Also, you know, looking at the volume profile, it's clear that this is going to go fast once we wick below this, but even closing under the red line, I think is already to be expecting maybe an anemic bounce to the upside being rejected and continuation to the downside. So this is going to be a fairly easy chart, right? In the blue box area, okay, still hopium, still ready to maybe see the price push up a little bit, or possibly what it could also do, because it's not because we bounce here that is going to go to new all-time highs. What could happen is get a rejection, or maybe even make a little bit more of a high that would actually be a lower high on the RSI. And then we have our 3 strikes to the upside. You know, it's not gonna take much more than these. So yeah, keep your eyes on those signature patterns. Very, very important to judge where you should be taking profit and where you should actually stop hoping and believing. But for now, my bias is still leaning a little bit more on the strength of the bulls than it is actually setting up for game over. But yeah, on the upside, we do see this this high here on the RSI, which could be the area that causes problems if it doesn't break. If as long as it holds and we don't break this high, I think the end of the run is coming. So we are gonna have to measure this one out and set our barrier that we want to see get broken for continuation to be confirmed. So 79.9. Let's measure it off. We get 25,900. 25,900 Hunsky. So let's set it here, just like that, and you know, let's make it blue for the color of hope. I don't know, maybe blue isn't such a color for hope, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm gonna roll with it. And then we have our second area right here. This one on the shorter term, we also want to see this one get broken first and foremost. This is very important that we break this level on the RSI. And this one is at 72.2. Yeah, let's go with 72.2. So what do we have? We got 25,300. It's a little bit lower. And how are we going to set it up? We're going to make a box. A nice little box. There we go. Beautiful. So, okay, how do we read this mess right here? On the short term, because this is a 1 hour chart, this is just what the initial chart is going to look like. This is a 1 hour chart, making for newer highs. We really want to see this box to be broken in order to expect some strong continuation coming in. As long as we get rejected in this box, we could still assume that eventually breaking out of this box is going to be a confirmation that there's not going to be a continuation on the bull run anymore. Now, the green line is actually our first line of defense. We could very easily find some support here still on the green line and still giving us enough momentum to keep trying again and again. Here inside this other blue box, I'm going to make it orange because this is where hope will still survive a little bit, depending on the signatures that we make on the RSI as we find some support lines and bounce off of them. So very important that you differentiate the strength of the different reads. This will also allow you to change your tactics. If price is going lower, of course, another strategy is going to apply. If we do see this nice signature being formed, then you can act differently than if you would just see price reach down and eventually break lower and lower. But of course, all this is up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to play this with your strategies because this is very personal. This has all to do with how much time you have sitting behind the computer and where your entry point is sitting at, if you have any. That's all these things. So strategy is not just a wax on, wax off thing. But yeah, you are gonna have to think about these things. But you know, knowing which levels have what kind of weight is it should already help you figure out a few of these things for yourself. Now, breaking below this orange box, especially if it goes slowly, we are trending outside of this support line, this red support line, the diagonal trend line right here. So again, this is going to confirm a change of momentum where we are not going to see a strong reaction to the upside anymore. As long as we find support in the orange box, I think some sideways action would be prolonged, where again we could redo our analysis every time and judge as we go on whether there's still some hopium left or where, you know, you should start thinking about closing your positions if you are in any. Now, breaking below the red line here, closing below the red line, breaking below the thick one, this is actually really game over. If you didn't close your long positions here, then I hope you have enough funding left to look for some lower positions where we will get bounces. It's not going to go to zero. We will get bounces, But that's going to be a tricky one, because this is where you're going to have to martingale your position in order to profit, or at least get out, break even, if and when we recover at least a little bit. Okay, so this is the short term. Let's now move over to the 5-hour chart, and I just want to see and measure out where the 5-hour chart sets our limits. Because right here, this is just an uptrend, a beautiful uptrend. We do have our more or less bullish divergence that is still empowered. As long as we don't break below these levels, I think there could still be continuation. It's not because here we have a higher high and a lower high that this already counts as a bearish divergence, because it will only be confirmed on the downtrend if we start breaking key areas. So yeah, it's too early. It's potentially there, but it's not there yet. Also remember, after a new high, especially in such a formation, there is going to be that signature move where either we get a second attempt to the high and a lower high on the RSI, confirming that this is a local rejection for a longer term, or we are going to see a lower high and a lower low being confirmed with the RSI, and this could also say that the bull run is over. But for now, the area that we want to keep our eyes on is this area on the RSI right here, and this one maybe right here to set our lower limit. And yeah, I think after that we might start rounding it up. So let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's break it down. So on the 5-hour chart, we have 47.3 on the RSI. We got 48. Let's go with 47.5. And this is sitting still up here in the 23,600 range, 700 range. So yeah, very, very nice signature. As long as we stay above the orange line, we could still at least see another attempt to the upside. Whether it's going to be a new high, I don't think so. But yeah, clearly, until we didn't reach the orange line here, I still don't think it's really game over for a prolonged downtrend. But probably some sideways action. The lower we go, the more hesitation there's going to be on this chart. And now let's do the lows of the lows. Let's go with the all-time low here. 26 on the RSI. 26, and this would be 20,700. And we're going to set our box area from here to 20,700. And this will be red. All right. So this is it. This is our beautiful chart. This is how we are setting up for now. Maybe just as a formality, I'm going to take the Fibonacci Retracement tool, and I'm going to read from here to here. We're going to stretch it out. And now let's see which areas actually do line up. As we can see, there's not a lot lining up right here. This is a straightforward, very rockety run that we had. Let's go down to the 1 hour chart. This one is going to help a little bit more. So we do have the 0.23 sitting right here on this volume node. We do have the 0.3, 0.5, and 0.6. Actually, all of them are sitting on volume nodes. So still a lot of hopium, a lot of areas to to find support or to hope for support in this orange box area. But like I said, the trend line here, I think this this trend line, if it breaks more sideways and maybe hesitation, maybe turnaround, but at least breaking this trend line, I do believe that we are going to start seeing a change of momentum. On the upside, yeah, as soon as we break out of this box here, possibly more highs in our foreseeable future, maybe the 25,000, maybe the 30,000, who knows. But yeah, so far I think this is going to be it. I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to know exactly when I am coming live. Usually that should be around 12:30 UTC, but now with the holidays and the kids being home and all this stuff, you know, sometimes it fluctuates. But on YouTube, I will always post a reminder so that you know exactly if I am going to come online at this time or not, and when, whenever I would be coming online, and yada yada yada. I'm just rambling on. Well, I thank you guys very much for watching. I'm wishing you very happy holidays. For those that missed it yesterday, late Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, keep your positions safe, and yeah, tomorrow, remember, 12:30 UTC. You guys be there, and I'll be square. Bye, guys.